certified South Louisiana.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took Game 2 and the series last night against the Los Angeles Angels with a 3-2 win in Anaheim. The Astros once again needed a ninth-inning boost to get over the line, this time coming off of an RBI single to center field from Yordan Alvarez. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Hayden Wesneski for the Astros versus Grayson Rodriguez for the Angels. First pitch is at 8:38 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. The New Orleans Saints officially put the pads on today and get to work for the first day of training camp. Today's session is closed to the fans, but starting tomorrow, the next 5 practices will be open to the public. Ohio State Athletics made headlines yesterday after announcing a new jersey sponsorship with J.P. Morgan Chase. All 36 Buckeye athletic programs will now feature a Chase Bank sponsorship patch as part of the new deal that is valued at more than $15 million annually for Ohio State. The Acadiana Cane Cutters came up just short last night to the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators, losing 2-1 in Game 1 of a best-of-3 semifinal series. Game 2 of the semifinals between the Gumbo Gators and the Cane Cutters is tonight at 7 p.m. at Faubacher Field. Ole Miss has filed breach of contract lawsuits against current LSU Tigers Princewell Umamielen and Devin Harper. The two followed Coach Kiffin of Baton Rouge after remaining with the Rebels throughout their playoff run, and now the university is seeking a combined $1 million between Umamielen and Harper. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Good day to you and yours, and welcome in to a Wednesday edition of RP3 and Meche. I am the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, or as Mr. Bobby says, 2 out of 3. That was a pretty good Meatloaf song back in the day, too, by the way. That was well before many of you's time. I'm joined today by a man who just does it all. You know, he could be too big. He could big time me. He could big time us by saying, you know what? I'm not going to fill in for James Meche as a producer. I'm not going to go back to my roots here at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. I'm a multiple LAB award winner and LSWA award winner. I got my own thing. I do my own thing. I have my own following. I don't need to do that. But you know what? What makes him great, what's made him those award winners, is because he's has humility. And he's all about helping out his fellow brothers and sisters in the trenches when it comes to broadcasting. The son of Iceman himself, Dawson Iserloh's filling in today. Thank you for being here, D-Lo.
What's going on? Yeah, self-awareness, big key. Big key in the world. I pride myself on having some self-awareness.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not at that level. Not at that level to shun you. So
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I greatly appreciate that because you don't want me behind the producer's board.
I actually, entertainment-wise, content-wise, there's an argument to be made it could create some better content.
It would also possibly create our show and station going off the air. Look, we all have our skill sets.
It's fair.
Mine is not producing by any stretch of the imagination. We got a great show lined up for you today. Got 3 guests. Start of Saints training camp is today down on Airline Drive. To give us a preview of that and to share his thoughts about all the position groups heading into camp is our buddy, Dat Boy Wolf. Ryan Hinton from the Saints Block Party podcast will be joining us. That's going to come up at a little after 11:30. That'll be our Big Easy Blitz segment for today's show. Bringing that back. I love that. I love having the Big Easy Blitz back in the rotation. So we got that coming up for you at 11:30. Saints training camp questions. Then at 12 o'clock, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick from KATC will be joining us. We'll talk about Dr. Brian Maggard departing to go back to Missouri, about the interim athletic director, and where does UL go now? And get his thoughts as well about fall camp coming right around the bend, so to speak. We'll talk all things Raging Cajun athletics with Jamarcus Fitzpatrick at 12 o'clock. And then at 12:30, how about the McNeese Cowboys? Lots to talk about over in Lake Chuck. With our buddy from the Lake Charles American Press, Jim Gazzolo will join us. We'll get a recap for Southland Conference Media Days concerning the McNeese Cowboys. We'll talk about the scheduling and some other things, including patches on jerseys has become a huge deal. Right? Yesterday, we talked about Ohio State announcing they've done one for $17 million a year from Chase Morgan. And then Notre Dame says, hold it. We got SoFi giving us $20 million a year. Well, I believe McNeese is the only school in the Southland and one of the few schools in the FCS, and maybe the first, to have a patch sponsorship. So we're going to dive into that as well with Jim Gazzolo. So we got 3 great guests lined up for you today. We'll also take some time out to recap the Stros winning again last night against those little Halos. And they've won that series. Boy, Mr. Alvarez is really good at hitting the baseball, isn't he? Really good. Really good. I think you can make an argument. I know Kevin hates this type of talk. I think you can make a strong argument that the front runner for the most valuable player in the American League should be Alvarez. And I don't care that the Astros are under 500.
My only problem with that, although this is not the segment we were going to do here, but my only problem with it, as an Astros guy, and I believe it, is the guy doesn't play the field. And that bothers me a little bit with the award.
That's fair. That's fair.
But if he was a left fielder and he was playing at a below replacement level, defensive level in left field, I don't think we'd hold it against him, right? So it's one of those things where it's like, hey, does it really matter? But
has a DH won MVP?
Well, Ohtani, but he, Ohtani did it last year when he wasn't pitching and basically just was a DH. So yeah.
Yeah, Ohtani. But the pitching also plays a role in. But Ohtani.
But he wasn't pitching.
That's right. He wasn't.
He won it the year he didn't pitch at all. Yeah.
But then the Dodgers also had a great season. So I don't know. I don't see somebody else that's had as great of a season so far. But I agree. I can hear that argument. I'd be okay hearing that argument. We can talk more about that as the show goes along. We also have our poll question of the day, which is another Saints training camp question. We had one yesterday about the offense. Guess what? We'll be talking about the defense today. We'll unveil that and get to your comments as well. Also, some news and notes to get to. A Tennessee football player that was at SEC Media Days representing the team has now been suspended by the NCAA for the first 2 games because he essentially accepted free flights to go talk to an agent. Is that how that's been broke down for us, Dawson?
I don't know. I don't know what he did, but the NCAA is they're back on their power trip, I guess.
It's so funny the things that they enforce and the things they don't. Right? And okay. Like, you got all this money going around, you have no guardrails up, and you're just going to enforce things.
This feels very Manziel signed a couple autographs in the offseason.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Is it allowed? No. Is it, like, incredibly confusing to probably understand what that's my thing. Is it incredibly confusing to probably understand what is and isn't allowed in these days where there's, like, no rules, but there's kind of a few rules? I feel for the kid. Maybe he deliberately did it and knew the concept. I would guess that he did not know what he could and couldn't do. That'd be my guess, because he's got the money to pay for the $400 flight, clearly, because he's making NIL all over the place.
Most of them are that way, yes. Also, we have I'll save it. I'm going to do a combination here for what we're going to talk to lead things off with. Let's go ahead and get things started on today's show. Here's today's specials.
The fellas can't help with your lunch plans, but they can serve up the top stories of the day in bite-sized pieces. Time to order up today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street. Order up.
Okay, I'm going to get a complaint out the way before I dive into the news involving LSU and Ole Miss. But this is SEC-centric. Am I the only person that believes that we have an issue here with the bedfellows of the SEC and the ESPN and the SEC network? Because ESPN Insights is put out, because the SEC will start a 9-game conference schedule. A likely result of the additional conference game is that every SEC team has a strength of schedule in the top 20, according to ESPN Analytics. Who does the strength of schedule rankings?
Yeah, this is as much a self-fulfilling prophecy as I've ever seen.
Right. So who does the rankings for strength of schedule?
Right. You're preloading your own FPI system that, by the way, many experts feel is very flawed in the first place. And so when you're preloading it with all of the teams that you value highly, and I'm not suggesting that ESPN's like this big conspiracy to prop up the SEC, but it is convenient that they're the number one broadcast partner. Hey, they're friends of ours. We love ESPN. But, like, yeah, you can't tell me that's actually the case, right? Because what we know is, despite the fact that all these FPI teams are boosted, there's going to be 2 or 3 really bad teams in the SEC. There always are.
Correct. It just feeds into itself, right? It's the snake that keeps eating itself. And so ESPN is the one that creates the strength of schedule rankings, which then the College Football Playoff Committee essentially leans on when it comes to their rankings, because they're tied at the hip. Because, by the way, the College Football Playoff Rankings is a televised event by who?
That would be the worldwide leader, the 4-letter network.
I know I'm screaming at the clouds guy. I'm the old man in the retirement home. I get that. But really? Like, really? Like, I get it. They're in a business relationship, but it's so murky, and it's so I just had to get that off. Like, I saw the strength of schedule. Every team's ranked in the top. Really? Okay. The self-fulfilling prophecy, as Dawson likes to say, that's a nicer way of saying that. So, let's get to what I want to talk about.
Lawsuits?
Just when I thought we were past this, just when I thought we had found a way to reduce the temperature of the pot on the stove by taking it off the burner a little bit and just putting it on the small burner between Ole Miss and LSU. Because I thought the way Pete Golding conducted himself at SEC Media Days in Tampa, we were there for that, saw him on stage. I liked what I heard from him about he and Kiffin's relationship. I thought the way Kiffin handled things with the Vanity Fair question, I thought, I felt like I didn't think, I felt it. When we left Tampa, it felt like, okay, things are going to ratchet down a little bit here because time has passed. Lane's off of social media. Pete said the right thing and kind of even lowered the temperature by himself. Like, really kind of, he just went ahead and did that to help out his friend. And that we could just be focused on football. Talking season's behind us. Big Ten got on the dais yesterday. They're wrapping things up. And now we can just focus on football. And not to say that week 3 in Oxford, Mississippi isn't going to be one of the most volatile, possibly entertaining, and possibly borderline dangerous situations we've seen in modern college football history. That will still be the case. But I at least thought we could go a little while before having to deal with stuff that's just going to flame the fires. And sure enough, here we are. In case you didn't hear, in case you missed this, Ole Miss has filed a breach of contract lawsuit against former players and current LSU players Devin Harper and Princewell Umamlian.
But it's fine.
Thank you.
Continue on. We know who you're talking about.
Thank you. So those are two of the players that played for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. They transferred, hit the portal. Now they're playing for LSU. They're not the only ones, right? We have another one that was actually at SEC Media Days that Dawson interviewed on the Lowdown with D'Lo.
TJ Dowder, yes.
Okay, who led the SEC in tackles last year. So he's not mentioned in this.
So I think what you had is, I guess, multi-year contracts signed by these other players, right? As opposed to
Ole Miss has what they're doing, and this is the interesting part. So they have proof that both of these players signed NIL collective contracts, correct? And then literally within a week or two after signing that, they have it all documented. They have a timeline that they've presented in this lawsuit. That then LSU flipped them and had them, the kids enter the portal, and then they signed with LSU. And, I hate talking about lawsuits. But I do find this interesting. And I know LSU fan is going to be like, oh, they're being sour. They're being, yeah, they are. That's true. Okay. They're not happy that their players left to come play for LSU. And I'm not a lawyer, but I've watched a lot of Matlock growing up as a kid.
Little Judge Judy?
Oh, little Judge Judy. So I digress. But if you sign a contract saying that you're going to accept receiving so much money for playing for said college football team, because once again, now we live in an era where you're essentially playing professional football on a college campus, then there should be a penalty for breaking said contract, yes?
Well, it's all going to depend on what was in the contract, right?
Correct.
Was that
Correct.
in there? And so clearly Ole Miss, if they're going to go through all this paperwork and headache of filing the lawsuit, I would imagine that means there is something in there.
They're seeking $1 million each, I think it is, right? Or $1 million total, maybe. I'm not for sure. So it's either $1 million total or $2 million total. One for each.
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
This is why I actually am kind of excited that this is happening, because it was overdue, right? It was overdue, and I don't care specifically about the LSU Ole Miss element of it. I'm talking big picture for the sport. we've had a lot of this go down, right? And so what my hope is that if Ole Miss wins this lawsuit, and we'll have to wait for some of the details for me to see if that's actually what I'm rooting for. But if Ole Miss wins the lawsuit, what I'm hoping the precedent can be set on is, hey, when you're negotiating these NIL deals now and you're bringing players in, if you put these clauses in these contracts and actually have them signed up and lawyers look at them and make sure they're good to go.
They're notarized, the whole 9 yards.
And the player goes elsewhere, let's compensate the losing party. And so my actual hope is that this is a domino effect that helps the lower tier teams in the group of 5 and elsewhere who sign a guy, take a chance. ULM, prime example. Not our favorite school in the world, but you know what? Our guy Brian Vincent told me the entire timeline of it. They go out and they find Ahmad Hardy. They give him a shot. They give him a scholarship, give him a chance. He breaks out. Unbelievable season. Goes to Missouri. That's fine. ULM deserves some sort of compensation for losing him, right, is my thought. So if this works and Ole Miss gets paid as a result of their losing of these players, can we maybe set a precedent and start to have some sort of system that's going to benefit the little guy who puts the work in to find the player? And it's not the same. I'm not saying LSU to Ole Miss is that situation, right? But just maybe this can be a precedent, as we know how important precedents are in United States law.
The other thing is that we already do this for coaches.
Exactly. The buyout system.
Right.
That's
the buyout.
That's what this is.
Right. This is all this is, right? So if you're a coach and you're under contract and you decide I'm leaving this school and I'm going to take another job, there's a buyout involved. So typically the new school has to go and buy you out of your old contract for you to come to the new school. Why can't you just set it up the same way here? If you sign a piece of paperwork that is written up by attorneys to say that you're going to play for Ole Miss for $500,000 in 2026, and then you decide to go enter the transfer portal and transfer elsewhere, then your new school should pay that money.
And just
there should be a penalty involved. And this is not bashing on LSU. This would apply to Alabama, Texas,
well, that's
Oklahoma,
what I'm saying.
A&M, anybody.
And that's like what you also would have. Again, my hope here is I know I'm looking at it from like maybe the Cajuns perspective or the Tulane perspective. We got the Q-zip on, by the way. Do you like that?
I do like that.
This
I
was
like
a gift.
I like the angry wave.
I like throwing around a little different merch from different teams from time to time. But anyway, you go, hey, you're a freshman player. Guess what, buddy? You don't have any offers from the SEC. You don't have any offers from the Big Ten. But we here at South Alabama, we love you. Let's do this. Let's sign you up for 2 years, $100,000 a season, whatever the number is. Probably not that much. But South Alabama, sorry, Jags. We'll sign you up for $50,000 a season for 2 seasons. If you have a great freshman year and LSU comes calling, or let's say Mississippi State comes calling, and they want to pay you $500,000, that's cool. They pay us the $50,000 that we were going to pay you. We now gain that money instead of losing it, and they can have you for the second year. Or if your 2 years go up, since we signed you to a 2-year contract, you play your freshman year, your sophomore year, now Michigan State's coming, now USC's coming, you don't have any contractual obligation, you can leave with no penalty to the other team. But now there's like actual reason for the schools who are coming and poaching all these great players. If you sign them for 2 years or 3 years up front, those other schools go, you know what? That guy's good, but let's just let him stay at South Alabama another year, and if we still like him, we'll go get him next year. And now, if you're a Cajuns fan and you're contributing to the NIL fund and you're contributing, trying to bring these players in, and you go, why would I give any money? These guys are going to be gone the first time they get an opportunity. You go, well, no, look, they're signed to a 2 or 3 year contract, and if they leave early, we're going to get that money back. And now maybe you have donors that are more willing to participate in this, and it goes all the way up the chain. So that's my hope on the situation.
It's a good point by you. It's a good point. So we'll see what happens moving forward. We got to take a timeout. Ran a little long there, but we had some good analysis, especially from D'Lo. Come back, we'll unveil our poll question of the day. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Now is a great time to save at Southwest Volkswagen as summer is getting hot. Get the 2026 Volkswagen Atlas for only 0.9 APR for 48 months or take advantage of $3,500 in customer bonus cash. The Volkswagen Atlas with third-row seating, amazing technology, and one of the most comfortable drives you'll experience. Don't wait. Get down to Southwest Volkswagen today. Located at 6184 Johnston Street in Lafayette, or you can give them a call, 337-895-0110 for more details.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsan, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Imagine a place where wellness, luxury, and community come together. Welcome to City Club at River Ranch, Acadiana's premier private club. Enjoy a state-of-the-art fitness center, exceptional tennis and pickleball programs, resort-style amenities, and a vibrant social atmosphere. Whether you're pursuing your fitness goals or expanding your social circle, City Club offers an unmatched member experience. Visit cityclubatriverranch.com today. City Club at River Ranch, where lifestyle meets distinction.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one #1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Attention, this is a public notice from Citizens Disability. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from physical and mental disability. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, Citizens Disability can help. You'll be given an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, and deal with Social Security. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. We only get paid if you win your case. There are a number of conditions that can make you eligible for disability benefits, many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call Citizens Disability today to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation. 800-431-9667. 800-431-9667. 800-431-9667. That's 800-431-9667.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Yesterday on the show, our poll question was about Saints training camp offense. Who are you most locked into watching? Who are you most intrigued by? Well, today we flipped it. It's the defense. That's our poll question of the day. Is it the defensive line? Is it linebackers? Is it DBs? I'll give you my thoughts quickly here. It's the defensive backs. Like, the defensive line, you drafted a kid that's already buying groceries for random people at stores in New Orleans. It's going to be a legend. I like what they have on the D-line. Chase Young proved that he was more than just the one-year wonder. You got Carl Granderson. You bring back Cam Jordan. You hope Brian Brzee can be better. But I have some sort of confidence. They may not be great up front, but they're going to be pretty good. Linebacker, I know everyone's worried about Demario Davis not being there. Can the former Saint who came back fill that role? I don't think he's the same player. I think they're going to be used a little bit differently. But for me, Dawson, it's defensive backs. Like, is Blackman going to be healthy? Can he be the X factor for them on the back end? Can Kool-Aid be cornerback number 1? Can Riley be cornerback number 2? Can Sanker go into this specialty role for Brandon Staley? I don't know. There's a lot of questions on the back end for me.
I'm with you. I think, linebacker's interesting because it is the post-Demario thing. Like, does Stutzman take a step? Caden Ellis back in the fold. But the DBs have far more question marks. And so I want to see that group, and I want to see them go against this receiving core that I'm excited about as well.
I agree. So keep voting on our poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook, X, and on our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. We will share those with you with the remainder of today's show. But we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to get our first of 3 interviews rolling for you. Going to talk Saints training camp with Ryan Hinton of the Saints Block Party podcast. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took Game 2 and the series last night against the Los Angeles Angels with a 3-2 win in Anaheim. The Astros once again needed a 9th-inning boost to get over the line, this time coming off of an RBI single to center field from Yordan Alvarez. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Hayden Wesneski for the Astros versus Grayson Rodriguez for the Angels. First pitch is at 8:38 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. The New Orleans Saints officially put the pads on today and get to work for the first day of training camp. Today's session is closed to the fans, but starting tomorrow, the next 5 practices will be open to the public. Ohio State Athletics made headlines yesterday after announcing a new jersey sponsorship with J.P. Morgan Chase. All 36 Buckeye athletic programs will now feature a Chase Bank sponsorship patch as part of the new deal that is valued at more than $15 million annually for Ohio State. The Acadiana Cane Cutters came up just short last night to the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators, losing 2-1 in Game 1 of the best-of-3 semifinal series. Game 2 of the semifinals between the Gumbo Gators and the Cane Cutters is tonight at 7 p.m. at Fallbacher Field. Ole Miss has filed breach of contract lawsuits against current LSU Tigers Princewell Umamielen and Devin Harper. The two followed Coach Kiffin to Baton Rouge after remaining with the Rebels throughout their playoff run, and now the university is seeking a combined $1 million between Umamielen and Harper. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Drew Brees set a new standard for quarterback play, and now the Saints legend will be immortalized in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. RP3, D'Lo, and Meche will be there for this historic occasion with a special 3-hour live broadcast from Canton, Ohio. Tune in Friday, August 7th for the Gold Standard. Presented by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Right here on ESPN, 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Acadiana Legal Services Corporation provides free access to legal services. Their work spans across Louisiana. They're committed to helping eligible individuals navigate legal challenges from family law to public benefits. Their team delivers reliable, high-quality representation. Acadiana Legal Services provides comprehensive benefits and a supportive work environment. Join a team that makes a difference in the lives of people. Apply today at la-law.org/careers or careers@la-law.org.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit duplessisbuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certification. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond.
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
Who dat ready for New Orleans Saints talk? We are. That's who. Time to talk all things black and gold. This is the Big Easy Blitz here on RP3 and Meche.
Today is the day the New Orleans Saints begin preparation for the 2026 season because training camp officially opens down there on Airline Drive. And we got plenty of questions about this team. Even though there's a lot of enthusiasm and anticipation for the season, there's still a lot of question marks about this team that has added to its roster, but it's also lost some guys. And to talk about training camp and the expectations for the upcoming season for the New Orleans Saints is our old friend from the Saints Block Party Podcasts, known on X as Dat Boy Wolf. Ryan Hinton joins us now. Buddy, how are you?
I'm doing great, baby. I'm feeling great.
This is a man that's excited about training camp beginning today.
Yes, indeed, man. We've been waiting too long.
All right, I want to dive in because look, there's a lot of anticipation. There's a lot of positive vibes around this team. So my first question to you is this. Is the positivity, are you fully bought in on this, or are you cautiously optimistic, rather?
Well, I'm definitely in the cautiously optimistic box for me. But, you know, I'm just rolling with the excitement, man, because honestly, it's been years now since we've been able to go into a season, you know, just excited about what we're going to see because, I mean, honestly, since Drew Brees hung it up, honestly, a little bit before Drew Brees hung up because, you know, towards the end there, it kind of started to get a little emotionally debilitating, you know, just those early postseason losses, then after the no call and all that stuff. And then, you know, Drew Brees retires, then you get the Dennis Allen era, the Derek Carr era. It's just been kind of a sloth. And then last year, you know, there were really pretty much no expectations whatsoever to see where the Saints go. And, you know, they finished the season pretty strong. You know, Tyler Shuck looked really promising, and they did a great job this offseason of kind of building around him and getting some juice on the offense, which we on our podcast have been screaming for years now. So it's time to just embrace the optimism. You know, we'll see how it plays out, but, you know, just be optimistic. You know, that's the fun of being a fan, you know?
A lot of that optimism, Ryan, comes from the play of Tyler Shuck late in the season last year as a rookie. I think he is going to do extremely well. I think he makes all the throws. He's got the arm strength. He's got the intelligence, and he's got toughness. My only thing that makes me a little cautious this year, and I talked about it on the air yesterday, was I know everyone is buying the jerseys. I know everyone is ready to roll and have this guy as a record-breaking Pro Bowl quarterback, but he's got less than 10 starts under his belt. And defenses get paid to make adjustments, and defensive coordinators have been studying his tape all offseason. I know there's a lot of optimism. I know they added a lot of pieces, but should we prepare for maybe a stretch during this season where he's not who we think he should be, but then he quickly gets out of that?
Exactly. That's what you need to prepare for. You got to understand he's still an inexperienced quarterback. I was going to say young, but, you know, we know he's not super young, but he's an inexperienced quarterback. And like you said, defenses adjust. You know, one of the things we talked about a lot on the podcast is we got to see him against better defenses. You know, that's not to knock anything he did last year, but that last part of the schedule was pretty soft. compared to some of the rougher parts. And week one they play the Detroit Lions, and look, I mean that's a pretty tough opponent. So, the hope is he could excel as the competition gets tougher. And look, he's going in to this off season, into this training camp. He's getting all the quarterback reps. He's not in a competition anymore. They flooded him with weapons. They helped out the offensive line. So the hope is that building around him will raise the floor for him, while he also takes that second year leap that you hope to see in a guy that's that's gained experience. And to be honest, the way he's approached this off season, you couldn't ask for anything more.
Wide receiver is interesting because they've given him more weapons. I liked the pick of Jordan Tyson in the top 10. I know a lot of people, Saints fans, wanted them to take Caleb Downs or a defensive player, but I don't think you can give a young quarterback for an offensive-minded coach enough weapons. You're going to have Olave back after a career year. You add Tyson. Vele showed you flashes winning those 50-50 balls, and then we keep hearing all these great things about Polk from the coaching staff, and he didn't even play last year. What are you looking for from the wide receiving group, in particular, just the receivers, not the tight ends, just the wide receivers for training camp?
Man, it's so fascinating. It's going to be so fascinating to watch how that all plays out in camp, because it is deep, man. I was doing a little, 53-man roster prediction the other night, and I was like, geez, there's going to be some tough cuts. But we say that every year, But this year, they're pretty deep at wide receiver, which we haven't been able to say about the Saints for a long time, even back in the Drew Brees area towards the end. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out, the competition. We pretty much know Chris Olave is that number one dog. Jordan Tyson, hopefully he stays healthy and he's able to kind of integrate into the offense really quick. Then after that, you got, Devon Vele, another guy who's, really good, but you hope that can stay healthy. He plays real physical style. Then you got guys like who they drafted, like Bryce Lance. You have, Barry and Brown out of LSU. You have Polk, who you just mentioned, who, really integrated himself into the offense last year, even though he didn't play. A lot of positive vibes about him. You got guys like Trey Palmer, who they signed off the waiver wire last year, who's healthy. Even, guys like Kevin Austin Jr., who played well, in spots for Saints. They are deep, man. They got a lot of guys at the wide receiver spot, and what I love about it is all the talents are pretty different, and you could actually see that they could potentially be layers to this offense, to the passing game, on what they'll be able to do on Sundays.
We know because of Kellen Moore's background that part of that passing game is going to involve the tight end. Jawan Johnson's coming off a career season. They finally unlocked what needed to be unlocked in him, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he reunited with his former college quarterback. They made some moves, added depth to the tight end room. What are you looking for during camp for the tight ends, and what do you think Jawan's role is going to be here in year 2 in Kellen Moore's offense?
Well, I think his role will still be the same. He's a big slot. He is a big wide receiver at the end of the day. He's not a blocker. He's not going to help you much in the run game or anything like that. He's going to get, over the middle, on the sidelines and down the seams as a big, tight end and be a mismatch. And that's what he's good at, and he was able to show some consistency down the stretch last year. But we've seen that before. We've seen him have those late season pops, but last season was probably his best. So hopefully that chemistry he has with Shuck will continue. But like you said, they drafted Oscar Delp out of Georgia, who has a ton of potential as not only a blocker but as a guy in the pass game. And they signed Noah Fant, who is just kind of like a rugged tight end with great athleticism too, but just hasn't really shown like crazy playmaking ability yet, but hopefully he could, add that potential dynamic to the Saints offense.
They go out and solidify the run game by going and getting Travis Etienne, the former Jennings High Bulldog. He wanted to come and play for the home state team. And you're bringing in another all-purpose running back, a guy that can catch the football extremely well and do things with it extremely well in open space, just like Alvin Kamara. And Devin Neal has that skill set as well, the young man they drafted out of Kansas last year. I feel like it's those 3 guys, and then it's going to be a dogfight for who's going to make the roster at running back number 4. Who do you think that's going to be?
I I don't even know if they carried 4 running backs. You know, last year I think they only carried 3 initially. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough because Travis is your lead dog. He's going to get the bulk of the carries, the catches. Going to be interesting to see how he handles pass protection. Alvin Kamara, he has usually been strong in pass protection, but I thought last year he struggled pretty badly in pass protection. But hopefully he integrates himself and could be a spell for A-Chan. And then, like you said, Devin Neal, who I thought also excelled in pass protection, ran the ball well. Not as juicy as you would like. Then you got guys like Kendrick Miller and Roger Estime, who did provide some juice. Obviously, with Kendrick Miller, the question is every year since he's been here is, can he stay healthy? So he's kind of fighting for his life because he's coming off a pretty bad injury. But he's not on the PUP. He's ready to go. So, yeah, man, just like the wide receiver spot, that running back room is a lot of good, healthy competition there.
We're talking with Ryan Hinton, better known as Dat Boy Wolf on X. We're talking Saints training camp storylines as the Black and Gold open up camp today down in Metairie. He joins us here on RP3 and Meche. All right, I want to switch sides from the offense to the defense because I have questions about this defense. And up front, not really. I thought they did some nice things in the offseason. They got the young man in the draft who I like a lot. He's buying groceries for people. They bring back Cam Jordan. You got Chase Young, you got Carl. So I think they're going to be fine across the line of scrimmage. My big question mark is Caden Ellis is not the same player as Demario Davis, but could he possibly fit better in Brandon Staley's defensive scheme is my question for you.
It'll be interesting. Caden Ellis, like you said, he's very different from Demario Davis, but in some ways he's similar to Demario, say, a couple of years ago when Demario was used more on a weak side linebacker spot and they were using him a lot as a pressure player. I think that's what you will see from Caden Ellis. They're going to use him a lot as a pressure player, spot duty and coverage. They're going to spell him. The real competition is going to be between Stutzman and Pete Werner at that Mike position. And how do they get those guys on the field? Are they going to get 3 guys on the field? Because Brandon Staley played a lot of base defense last year that people didn't realize. So it's going to be interesting how all that, susses itself out. But Ellis is a really good player, man, but just replacing DeMario's shoes is just, it's impossible to do. I mean, he was just such a stud. Even last year in his late 37 age, he was just such a stud.
My big question mark is the back end, and I think you'd probably agree with that because I still don't know if Kool-Aid McKinstry can be a number 1 corner in this league. We saw flashes from Riley, who they like. Could he be a number 2? Maybe. Sanker apparently is going to be in that specialty role for Staley on the back end. Can he handle that? I just feel like there's question marks on the back end, and in this modern NFL, you got to be very, very strong in your secondary if you want to have a chance to win games and to compete for the playoffs. How confident are you that they can figure this out in camp with the guys that they have on the field in the back end?
I'm just trusting in Staley, honestly, because from the talent level, it's like they're fine at a talent level. Like, it's not like they have a bunch of holes, but there's not a lot of just standout elite players there. Not many at all. I mean, Chase Young is probably the only player on the entire defense that you could point to and say, okay, this guy is close to that. He's not at the elite level, but he's close to it. But everybody else is like more in that fine, pretty good, solid range, or they're really young and you're just trying to hope you get untapped potential. But yeah, like with the secondary, I'm just trusting in Brandon Staley, man. Like for most of last year, Brandon Staley was the one really doing the outstanding coaching job. It wasn't Kellen Moore. It was Brandon Staley. Like what he was able to do with the amount or lack of talent he had was pretty amazing. It wasn't the prettiest thing to watch every Sunday, but at the end of the game, you look at the box score and you like, man, the Saints defense didn't allow 300 total yards. They limited the points to, under 20 points. I mean, at the end of the day, he got it done. So I think we're kind of hoping for that again. At the very least, just be a good, rock solid, top 15, top 10 defense that can limit teams from, from the end zone and not let them run up and down the field and kind of be a little more stout in the run game, which I think is a big focus for them, is to improve in that run defense.
Could Julian Blackmon be the X factor for this defense? They were high on him last year. They made sure to bring him in. This was a guy that Staley trusted, and then he gets injured. He misses essentially the entire season. Could a healthy Julian Blackmon, who's only 27, could he be the X factor for this defense?
I mean, it would be nice, right? I mean, it would be nice, man, but he's dealt with injuries a lot, even going back to the Colts days. So it's hard for me to really get excited about him, but I mean, it's one of those things where I hope he's able to see the field and be on the field, because I think that just allows Staley to do a lot more, especially when you consider he's trying to put Sanker at that star spot. You got Reed back there. Jordan Howden, who I thought played really well last year in a lot of spot duty. So they have some safety, they have some DBs, they have some guys that can move around. But like you said, man, Blackmon, when he plays, he's a really, really good player, man. But it's the health thing, which we say about a lot of players on this team.
You have any concerns about special teams, or maybe just questions?
Well, I mean, that was easily the worst unit on the team last year. On a team that struggled, it was the worst unit. They were one of the worst special teams overall in the league last year. But the good thing is, I think they saw that, they self-scouted and saw that it was an issue. They brought in a new punter, like a top 10 punter in the league this whole season. They brought in kicking competition. They brought in some guys, on defense, and, a guy like Baron Brown who can help in special teams in a returning unit. They got some guys that could help this special teams unit become better. And I think Kellen Moore saw that it was just not good. It was not good. They put the offense at a disadvantage, put the defense at a disadvantage at times. So I think they're hoping it becomes better. But, we have to wait and see. The kicking game hopefully will be better with Charlie Smith. And I forgot the other guy's name who they brought in. I think you want to say he was in the CFL or the UFL. Hopefully one of those guys can pan out, because they lost so many games because they just couldn't get the kicks when they needed them, man.
Ryan, appreciate the time and the insight as always. Tell the people where they can go and get the Saints Block Party podcast and when a new episode is going to be dropping.
Man, we recorded a live episode tonight talking about the Saints training camp. Saints Block Party podcast. Look us up on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we do video and audio. Just check us out, man. We're just two guys, love the Saints, love talking football, love talking sports. So just give us a peep.
Brother, appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
We got to take a time out and wrap up hour number 1. That's all coming up next.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Drew Brees rewrote the NFL record books as he helped lead the New Orleans Saints to a Super Bowl victory. Now, number 9 is going to be slipping on the gold jacket, have his bronze bust revealed, and be immortalized forever in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yours truly, along with D-Lo and Meche, will be there live in Canton, Ohio to witness it all with a live 3-hour special we're calling the Gold Standard. Tune in next Friday, August the 7th, from 12 to 3 for the Gold Standard, presented by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers, right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Looking for your next firearm? Come visit Louisiana Gun Shop in Broussard. We've got financing options, 12 months same as cash, plus layaways up to 90 days. With a wide selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at louisianagunshop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the yellow drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you.
But he likes you, Bart.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
The biggest headlines in the world of sports are discussed here. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
I want to talk about a guy that has Louisiana ties that has been brought up to me multiple times about joining the Saints, because we have a couple minutes here. We'll talk about Astros in hour number 2. I keep getting asked about Tre'Davious White from listeners and from family members. Tre'Davious White is one of the best high school football players our state's ever produced. He was great at LSU. And the first 3 years of his pro career, particularly with Buffalo, were phenomenal. He was a 2-time All-Pro, by the way. Led the league in interceptions. And a 2-time Pro Bowler, for good measure. But since the injuries, a guy that's a great, tough football player that has a high IQ, leader, physical, has great instincts, it's taken away Tre'Davious White. Like the Trey White that you want on the Saints, because a lot of you are asking, hey, why don't we go sign him? He's a free agent. Is not the guy that you remember. Like, you're getting a guy that played for 2 teams 2 years ago and was a limited starter last year in Buffalo. Like, can he still give something to a team? Yeah, could he be a great locker room presence and maybe help some of your young corners out with sharing his IQ with them? Absolutely. But Tre'Davious White is not going to be a game changer for the Saints or for any team out there, and there's a reason why he's still unsigned.
5 games missed due to injury in 2021, 11 games missed to injury in 22, 13 games missed to injury in 23, 6 games missed to injury in 24, and then finally actually played an entire season last year, but has just been derailed ever since that last all-pro caliber season in 2020. Just hadn't been the same.
Great for your locker room. I'm not saying like you shouldn't go sign Tre'Davious White, because I still think he can provide something for your team. I think he can provide leadership, and I think he can provide knowledge to younger corners, right? So that's valuable in its own right, Dawson. But if you're worried about your cornerback depth, if you're the Saints, signing Tre'Davious White isn't going to fix that. Like, I think he's a role player now that can help your locker room. I don't think he's the missing piece to getting you over the hump and making you into a playoff team. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong. But there's a reason why he's played for 3 different teams in 2 seasons. And he's a free agent right now while training camp begins across the NFL. Maybe someone signs him. Maybe the Saints do. Maybe that could be cool. But I just don't. He's not the same player that you remember him being. Hour 1 is in the books. Hour number 2, we'll kick it off talking Cajuns and Dr. Brian Maggard with Jamarcus Fitzpatrick at KATC. That's next.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3-gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes. And the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
It's hurricane season, and Mid-South Power Solutions wants you and your family to be prepared. Protect your home from sudden power outages with a Generac automatic standby generator, the industry leader. Installed by the experts at Mid-South Power Solutions, the Generac automatic standby generator will start up during power failures, keeping your home powered until the local utility restores service. Remember, installing a standby generator is not a do-it-yourself project. Mid-South Power Solutions factory-trained technicians meet the highest standards. Don't get caught in the dark. Visit Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley or at midsouthpowersolutions.com. Mid-South Power Solutions. Your power, our priority.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up!
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys! Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took Game 2 and the series last night against the Los Angeles Angels with a 3-2 win in Anaheim. The Astros once again needed a 9th-inning boost to get over the line, this time coming off of an RBI single to center field from Yordan Alvarez. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Hayden Wesneski for the Astros versus Grayson Rodriguez for the Angels. First pitch is at 8:38 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. The New Orleans Saints officially put the pads on today and get to work for the first day of training camp. Today's session is closed to the fans, but starting tomorrow, the next 5 practices will be open to the public. Ohio State Athletics made headlines yesterday after announcing a new jersey sponsorship with J.P. Morgan Chase. All 36 Buckeye athletic programs will now feature a Chase Bank sponsorship patch as part of the new deal that is valued at more than $15 million annually for Ohio State. The Acadiana Cane Cutters came up just short last night to the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators, losing 2-1 in Game 1 of a best-of-3 semifinal series. Game 2 of the semifinals between the Gumbo Gators and the Cane Cutters is tonight at 7 p.m. at Fallbacher Field. Ole Miss has filed breach of contract lawsuits against current LSU Tigers Princewell Umamielen and Devin Harper. The two followed Coach Kiffin of Baton Rouge after remaining with the Rebels throughout their playoff run, and now the university is seeking a combined $1 million between Umamielen and Harper. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hour 2 of RP3 and Meche has arrived here on a Wednesday. Coming up a half hour from right now, Jim Gazzolo, the great one from the Lake Charles American Press, will join us to talk about all things McNeese Cowboys. We'll also talk about the Astros getting another win last night. That'll be coming up. Dee and I will break that down, and that'll be coming up in about 20 minutes or so. We also have our poll question of the day, which we'll be updating. It's about the Saints training camp defense for you to discuss and to leave comments on, and we'll give you an update on the poll question and share your comments coming up as well. So continue to vote on that and continue leaving your comments on Facebook, X, as well as our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana, which you can comment on and also watch all of our live and local shows right there on YouTube. But we're going to kick off things here on hour number 2, talking Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and we're going to do so with our buddy from KTC, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick joins us now. Jamarcus, good day to you, my friend. How are you?
What's going on, my brother? It's always good when I can hop on the show with you guys.
Well, appreciate you making the time. So let's start off with the big news involving the Raging Cajuns. That, of course, is Dr. Brian Maggard resigning his position as the director of athletics. He's going to be taking an assistant role back at Missouri, where he started his career and nearly worked 20 years there before arriving in Lafayette. How surprised were you of the announcement happening just a month and a half or so before the start of football season?
Honestly, not surprised about the decision, more surprised about the timing of it, with it being right before football season and the athletic calendar for 26-27 starting, was more about that. But it makes sense. I mean, his daughter just got married. They just had a grandbaby, so he's a grandfather. He's going back to a place that's extremely familiar to him, a place that he's worked at before. And not to mention, UL right now is in sort of a financial crisis still to be, and a lot of the other things that are going on with the investigation and all of these different things that are happening in the athletic department. So it's not necessarily the perfect time or the perfect storm to jump ship, but it's the perfect storm to be like, hey, I'm going to go back home, and I wish y'all all the best to make sure that you can figure that out. We're going to make sure that we can help y'all as much as we can, but I got to go back home and be with my family. So that, I think, is why he ultimately chose to make that decision. But it was also just the timing of it that was like, whoa, like right before the season. Like, man, like I thought maybe it would be either early in the summer or maybe this time next year, early in the summer, that it may have been done. Because I think up until this point, he had done just about everything that he could, helping UL, winning Sun Belt or leading them, making sure that they have all they need to win Sun Belt championships in different sports and, getting them to renovate the stadium and raising funds to make sure that they can, build things up over there at the baseball clubhouse. All of those things like that have already been in place under his leadership. And so now it's like, what else is there to really conquer? And so, when he released his statement, it was mentioning how, the main thing was that it would have to be a, great opportunity for him to have to leave UL, and what better opportunity than to go back home, whether that's in athletics or any other job. Like, I am never going to be against somebody getting a chance to get back closer to family, because at the end of the day, this stuff is, not nearly as important as what you have with your family. So, congratulations to Dr. Maggard on a
what's his legacy going to be?
I think that it'll be majority great things, hiring of Billy Napier, handling the softball situation with the coaching change, and then going to get Jerry Glasgow. The standard remains the same with winning, Sun Belt Conference championships and making it to regionals and hosting a regional in Glasgow's final season and, all of those things like that he had done along the way. But then some people may say, we get here to the back half of some of the hiring that he's done recently, and maybe they haven't panned out nearly as much as what fans may have liked. A good bit of that is also chalked up to, the era changing with NIL and rev sharing and trying to manufacture that as a G6 school in general. But I think for the most part, his legacy does have to be positive because, it continues to elevate the UL brand. Before he, decided to move on, he was named to the College Football Playoff Committee. And so, that was going to be an opportunity that the culture could be displayed on a national stage. And so he had done, multiple things to help elevate, raise money, like what I said earlier, the renovation of Our Lady of Lourdes Stadium and all that took to get to that point. I think that it will be majority positive for sure. You'll have some people that'll have the negative to look at, so that is something that, it has to be talked about or referenced to, but I think that it's majority going to be positive.
What does his departure mean for the continued projects moving forward, in particular the football stadium with the digital scoreboard, with the press box and all of that side of the stadium? How does not having the man who's been at the forefront of that and kind of getting it done, how does that impact not having him around?
I think that, not having a leader to some can seem like a moment to panic a little bit, but, Trey Frazier, in his role over the RCAF and as deputy AD, had a big hand in helping with the fundraising of a lot of money that the Cajun Athletics has been a part of, finding, helping to launch Cajun's Edge and all those different things like that. But I think that, it's going to be interesting to see who they decide to move on with in terms of their leader. For the next AD, whoever that is, like, they are going to have some shoes to fill. And I personally think that, with you already having Trey Frazier there as the interim role, I think it would make a lot of sense to just go ahead and name him full-time athletic director, to be honest, because he's been around. He's seen what, Maggart's blueprint has been, and he's, younger and has a vision for what things could look like from a financial standpoint for the Cajuns.
How daunting of a challenge is it for Frazier taking over like this right before the start of the football season, especially with the university itself and its athletic departments having the funding and financial issues that they have?
Yeah, it's a ton more eyeballs put on him, maybe a few more questions than usual put into perspective of him, going from just talking about raising funds to now managing budgets and being responsible for people's jobs, and all of those different things like that are put on, his desk now. But I think that with his experience in working in other athletic departments like Missouri and so many others that are a part of his resume, I think that he has a lot of tools that you're going to need and the experience of being around other programs that you're going to need to develop a great plan and continue to move forward with your athletic department.
Let's go big picture here, because obviously Maggart's gone, but he made a lot of great hires, and we can spend hours talking about his legacy and what it should be and what it should not be. We have an interim man in place. My question to you, Jamarcus, is we know that they have the challenges that they have with the financial situation with the university, with cutbacks, and with the athletic department, especially now having to deal with all that in this era of NIL and the transfer portal. So they have their work cut out for them. What's the feeling that you're getting involving Raging Cajun Athletics just moving forward now that Maggard's not there and they're having to deal with all these financial issues?
Yeah, I think that it's, going to be figuring out a lot of, punching numbers and trying to figure out how you make sure that everyone is, well taken care of financially to make sure that you can be the best possible sports programs across the board, right? You just saw a great offseason from baseball, obviously a great financial commitment pumped into that program to retain the 4 freshmen that they have, the Noah Lewis, Colt Brown, Sawyer Pruitt, and Blaze Rodriguez, having those 4 coming back, and then you go even harder in the transfer portal, signing a bunch of guys and, staying older on your roster. Being able to stay committed to baseball, committed to softball, who's been historically a winning program, and then obviously, the other sports with men's basketball, football being kind of the doorstep program that you always focus on. A part of your university has to be good, trying to make sure that they have all the resources that they need to make sure that they can have the best opportunity to put together a winning season and compete for championships.
Let's step away from the business of college athletics and let's go to on the field. Because the football team is going to be reporting for fall camp, and we know at Sunbelt Conference Media Days, expectations are somewhat good, right? They're not predicting the Cajuns to win the West. Everyone's kind of on board for Troy to do that, but it feels like they're going to be a contender. What should the realistic expectations be that, assuming that everyone's going to be healthy for this year's Raging Cajun team before they start fall camp?
Well, if you ask Coach Mike Desimo, which I got a chance to talk with him for about 17 minutes or so, you can check that out, KTC, and then I did a Raging Rundown podcast episode breaking all of that down. He said that it is, the standard is to compete for the Sun Belt Championship, and anything less than that is subpar. So that is championship or bust. If I'm, listening at it the right way, like the standard to have it is if we're not making it to the championship, then that is not the way that we want our seasons to end. And so I think that they have a ton of talent. He mentioned how this team was very similar to the 2023 season where they were really, really young. They had a lot of talent. They started off the season 4-2, and then things collapsed from there, and they finished the season 2-4. They finished 6-6 and dropped the bowl game. So from his perspective, it's more now about taking those lessons and being able to make sure that what happened in 2023 does not repeat itself in 2026, and that he can take these young players, the Brent Gordon Jr.'s and the Shelton Sampsons and the Lunch Winfields, all these talented guys, and cohesively put them together behind a, experienced offensive line, a defensive line that has a lot of guys that have snap experience and game experience along the way, and then being able to make sure that you can put the right playmakers in place around them to make sure that they can be successful out on the field. Realistically, sitting at second place there in the Sun Belt West by the coaches poll and then a media poll picking them to win the West, Phil Still's poll picking them to win the West, I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility, and I think that that is very much the expectation that should be coming from that program because they have a lot of returning starters coming back. They have people that have playing experience. Now it's just about filling out major spots like the running back room. Your 2 leading rushers from last season are no longer with the program now. All of the guys in that running back room have little to no playing experience. Now it's about getting those guys ready, coaching them up, Coach Marcus Loving and the offensive staff, making sure that they put them in the right position to where you can utilize more than one back and that they can be successful running the football and eventually being able to set up in the throw game.
I'll get you out of here with this. What's your biggest question mark about this team heading into camp?
I think the linebacker and the secondary position are going to be questions. Jaden Duggar and Terrence Williams weren't starters for you last year, and Jaden Duggar is now playing for the 49ers. Like, you have to – Coach Stoker is once again going to have to coach up those positional guys that, a Jake St. Andre that's been in the mix, but now maybe has the opportunity to be the starter, to be the guy that you're going to need to lead that linebacker room, to roam the field, to make big tackles. And then in the secondary, on the back end, Cody Jackson, Colin Jacob, and then Brent Gordon are kind of your pillars there in the secondary. But everything else after that, the rotational players and maybe that extra cornerback that you're looking at, there are a lot of names that could be thrown in the mix. It'll be interesting to see what handful of guys come out of camp and are able to be main contributors for you, and how good they will be able to make plays once the season actually starts.
Jamarcus, always appreciate your time and your insight. Brother, keep up the tremendous work you're doing over there at KATC. My friend, we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you an update on the poll question of the day, get to your comments, and we'll talk a little Houston Astros baseball, getting another win last night on the West Coast. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Oh, do you want to take ESPN Southwest Louisiana Sports Station with you wherever you go? Then you just got to go download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app powered by Moss Motors. Do so today. It's your one-stop shop for all things ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. You can download the free mobile app by simply searching ESPN 103.7 Lafayette. That way, no matter where you are, you can listen to Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Acadiana Legal Services Corporation provides free access to legal services. Their work spans across Louisiana. They're committed to helping eligible individuals navigate legal challenges from family law to public benefits. Their team delivers reliable, high-quality representation. Acadiana Legal Services provides comprehensive benefits and a supportive work environment. Join a team that makes a difference in the lives of people. Apply today at la-law.org/careers or careers@la-law.org.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
You know the routine. Eat, sleep, sports talk, repeat.
Well, up and at 'em. We're here.
Here is more daily sports talk from ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
If you're needing to get yourself a new rifle or shotgun for hunting season, or maybe picking up a new handgun to protect your home and your family, or you're just running low on ammo, go see my friends over at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today. They're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 6 o'clock in the evening, and they have a tremendous selection of both new or used handguns, rifles, shotguns, ammo, suppressors, and even apparel. And they pride themselves on spending their money locally because they're a small business themselves. That's why they've teamed up with a local finance company that's currently offering 0 down and same as cash for 1 year. That's right. If you're a little short on cash, you can finance your guns, ammo, and even suppressors. Go see my friends at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today, and tell them RP3 sent you. How about we get an update on the poll question of the day? We haven't had a chance to share anybody's comments, Dawson, so can we remind folks what the question is, where we stand on our results, and share any comments?
Asking about the Saints defense, what position group are you looking at during camp? 50% still going with the linebackers, just 33% say the defensive backs, 8% for both the D-line and all of the above. JBK says linebackers, D-line rotation is strong. If the linebackers help them speed up the clock on opposing QBs, they'll cover up some of the deficiencies on the back end. He also says it's 46 days away. He's got a nice picture of a player that I imagine Kevin Foote knows the name of who played in the 1970s. Kai says the D-backs, not the baseball team. He's talking about the defensive backs. And Dave says linebackers. He also says potatoes only. I don't know what that means.
I'm not for sure what that means.
No clue.
Not for sure. We appreciate the comment, even though we
are a little confused. Yep.
We may be confused by that. Give me your thoughts here. For you personally.
It's the defensive backs. It's that room's got to be better than I think it is right now. And I do understand. Yeah, if the pass rush is great, then that changes things. Look, Ross Jackson keeps telling me I'm wrong, and I hope he's right. But I don't trust those guys back there. Ross thinks it's a really talented group. That's what he said on the show yesterday. So that'd be awesome. I don't see NFL level cornerbacks. I didn't see that from them last year, and I'm hoping those guys took the next steps in the offseason. But until I see it, that's assuming a jump. And I think assuming that the jump's going to happen sometimes gets you in some trouble.
I don't disagree that they have talent, because you have to have talent to play in the NFL. I just don't know if the cornerback room has elite talent. Now, maybe the argument is in Staley's defense, you don't need your corners to be elite because his defensive scheme relies more on getting pressure with the front seven to make the back end easier. So maybe you can get away with having good cornerbacks and not great ones. I could maybe hear that argument, but for me, Kool-Aid is way too inconsistent to be a number one corner. I liked what we've seen out of Riley a little bit, but it's not enough, right? And he's only entering year 2. People are high on Sanker. The coaching staff is high on him. They took him in the draft last year, right? So there's 2 young bucks that this staff has drafted that they're hinging the success of the back end of the defense on. The other component about this, and I asked Ryan Hinton about this in hour number 1 from the Saints Block Party podcast, was, is Blackman the key here? Because remember, they made him a priority to sign. He got injured, but he was supposed to be your anchor on the back end of the defense last year, right? He got injured. If he's healthy, which he hasn't been in a number of years, right? He was even injured in Indy going back in his career. If he's healthy, I asked Ryan this, is he the X factor that we're not talking enough about?
It's possible. He really was largely healthy in Indy. He only missed a handful of games. There was that one season, his second year, where he was out mostly with injury, but other than that, he was on the field. I go back to, why did Indy let him go? But maybe it's just one of those things. I mean, it's the NFL. Good players get released all the time.
Well, and the Colts have made interesting decisions in the last 4 or 5 years, too.
Yeah, they've clearly gone through some cycling. Yes. But, look, this is a guy who, by the way, got off to a nice start, had 7 tackles in his first and only game with the Saints, and so you always wondered. It's definitely possible. I'm not worried about the safeties as much as it's the corners. I'll continue to reiterate that, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
And maybe them being in this system for another year will help them elevate their game, right?
Of course, that's the hope. Especially with 2 guys that are at least familiar, they get a second year under Staley. That is the hope for sure.
That is the hope. So we'll see. Keep voting on the poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments as well on Facebook, X, and on our YouTube channel. Let's talk a little bit about the Houston Astros. We could spend 4 minutes here, me giving you live updates about the first of a twin bill between the Braves and the Mets. It's scoreless, by the way. But we're not going to do that. We want to talk about the team that we carry here on our station, that we've carried for years, and a team that's starting to kind of heat up at the right time, even though I see their roster and it is immensely flawed. And that's the Houston Astros. They got closer to being 500 with a 3-2 win last night. I believe that's the perfect baseball score for Kevin Foote. Josh Hader closed the door yet again, as he's been asked to over and over again. He is sensational. The pitching is... I don't love their pitching. I feel like they're winning games in spite of their pitching. And I know some of the Astro fans go, they need another bat. They need another bat. You know what wins in the postseason? You know what wins coming down the stretch in August and September? Pitching. And Astro fans should know this, because during their run, when they had that great window, their dynasty, if you will, window where 4 World Series appearances and 2 World Series championships, what did they have an abundance of every single year?
I thought you were going to finish earlier. You finished your own statement, so I thought, but arms, that would be what
quality starting pitching.
For sure. Verlander and others.
Whether it was Verlander and Garrett Cole, whether it was JV and Greinke, whether it was before, all the other guys that they've had quality starting pitching. Remove Hunter Brown. Do you trust another one of those guys to be a quality starting pitcher for the Stros? Because I don't.
At least right now, I trust Peter Lambert. I mean, the guy's had an all-time season for his career, and I said before, get somebody out of Colorado if they're a pitcher. That seems to be a good thing.
I'd like my other starting pitcher to give me more than 5 innings.
He's been. I think I do understand if there's concern if he's going to keep that going the entire year, but to this point, he's been as reliable as really anybody in the American League. Wisniewski pitches tonight for the first time in a year and a half, so expectations can be tempered there, but that's another key. They've been waiting on it. Blanco back in the mix. Javier showing some signs. They're going to be in a spot. I don't know what this deadline's going to be like for anybody, though, because it really, to me, seems like front offices are trying to measure out the work stoppage into these deals.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
And that might make it to where there's not a ton of deals that get done. And
you're already in a market, Dawson, to your point, where there's far more buyers than there are sellers.
And there almost always will be now with the new playoff format. Like, that's just how baseball's designed this, and it's probably
correct.
For a good reason.
Look, Imai just hasn't worked out. The other guys haven't worked out. If you're telling me Lambert's your number 2 pitcher on this staff, this is not a playoff team. That's not a knock on him. It's just, you got to have better arms. And I just don't think they have enough pitching. I don't like their pitching. We'll see, though. They'll try to go for the sweep tonight. You can listen to it right here on ESPN, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station. You're home for the Houston Astros. Got to take a timeout. When we come back, our third and final guest, Jim Cozzolo of the Lake Charles American Press. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros took Game 2 and the series last night against the Los Angeles Angels with a 3-2 win in Anaheim. The Astros once again needed a ninth-inning boost to get over the line, this time coming off of an RBI single to center field from Yordan Alvarez. Game 3 of the series will be tonight, and it'll be Hayden Wesneski for the Astros versus Grayson Rodriguez for the Angels. First pitch is at 8:38 p.m., and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. The New Orleans Saints officially put the pads on today and get to work for the first day of training camp. Today's session is closed to the fans, but starting tomorrow, the next 5 practices will be open to the public. Ohio State Athletics made headlines yesterday after announcing a new jersey sponsorship with J.P. Morgan Chase. All 36 Buckeye athletic programs will now feature a Chase Bank sponsorship patch as part of the new deal that is valued at more than $15 million annually for Ohio State. The Acadiana Cane Cutters came up just short last night to the Lake Charles Gumbo Gators, losing 2-1 in Game 1 of the best-of-3 semifinal series. Game 2 of the semifinals between the Gumbo Gators and the Cane Cutters is tonight at 7 p.m. at Faubacher Field. Ole Miss has filed breach of contract lawsuits against current LSU Tigers Princewell Umamielen and Devin Harper. The two followed Coach Kiffin of Baton Rouge after remaining with the Rebels throughout their playoff run, and now the university is seeking a combined $1 million between Umamielen and Harper. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Drew Brees set a new standard for quarterback play, and now the Saints legend will be immortalized in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. RP3, D'Lo, and Meche will be there for this historic occasion with a special 3-hour live broadcast from Canton, Ohio. Tune in Friday, August 7th for the Gold Standard. Presented by Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Right here on ESPN, 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perished in the line of duty, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on United States Deputy Sheriff's Association, please visit usdeputy.org.
We pride ourselves on treating our listeners like royalty.
Excuse me.
Not actual members of the royal family, mind you, but rather individuals who wear paper crowns. Hey, it's better than nothing. Back to more of ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles.
In case you were wondering, Braves Mets are still 0-0. But my little pitcher's out there striking out Mets, painting the corners today. Like that. Need more pitching. I think every Major League Baseball team needs more pitching. There's not enough good pitching in Major League Baseball. That's a discussion for another day. How about we talk McNeese Athletics? You know, we could reach out to other people in the Lake Charles area. There's one guy that Dawson prefers, but I go with the old salty veteran. I go with the man who still writes for a newspaper while also hosting a podcast, while also doing television work. He's a five-tool player in sports media. That's why he's the king of Lake Charles sports media. It's our good friend Jimmy G from LC. Jim Gazzolo joins us now. Jim, good day.
What do you mean Dawson prefers somebody else?
Your boy Chaston, that's his boy.
The young whippersnappers.
And that's probably why right there, because you used the term whippersnapper. So
there you go.
There it is. There it is. Okay. I want to dive right in because jersey patches are very much a buzzed about thing here in college athletics, and there's a lot of money going around. And McNeese was in on this just a few weeks ago, as Navarre is going to be the jersey patch for all athletic uniforms for McNeese Athletics. Break that down for us and give me your thoughts on how significant it is that a school from the FCS level is getting a jersey patch sponsorship.
Well, they're the first one to do it. Actually, they were in the top first 10 nationwide to do it on any level. I think this was part of the deal, or at least the groundwork had been done when they did the stadium. So, but I think it's interesting that, you know, there's two patches you can put on as of now. I don't know if Navarre paid extra just to be a solo patch or how that works out. I'm looking into that. But I think it's great for McNeese. I think it's great for any school right now because, well, let's face it, you're looking for added revenue to compete on whatever level you want to play on because that's what this is about. This is a money grab, and it's a money sport, and that's where we're at. I put a patch on mine, but you guys haven't given me a shirt yet. And given me a deal.
You listen to this guy. You hear him, D-Lo? This guy. What are we going to do with Jimmy G?
I don't know. The White Sox are kind of relevant, which has got him with this new level of confidence.
You know what I mean? He's got swagger.
A little cockiness. There's no question.
Okay.
Boy, do we need pitching.
Yeah, we all do. All right, but this may sound like a stupid question, but I was always taught no question is stupid. There's more money being poured into college athletics now than ever before. The television contracts are massive, more than ever before. Why are we needing to put patches on jerseys to get additional funding when there's more money being poured into college football and college athletics than ever before?
Because that's what we do. We want more. We will gobble it up until we destroy the golden goose. And then we'll start over again. That's just it. It's you know, I want my guys to have as much money as possible so I can go out and, you know, buy the linebacker, buy the shortstop, buy the point guard. That's where we're at. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I just think that if that's a game being played, it is important that you play the game to its highest level.
It's a fair point. Will the Southland Conference be able to pull off something like the Big 12 did where they get a sponsorship for the entire conference that will also apply to their teams?
I think that's why there hasn't been a naming of a second patch for McNeese yet. I think that's considered. I know the league is looking to do that. The problem with that is, and let's be fair, it's not like the SEC, it's not like the Big Ten, it's not like the big conferences where everybody is relatively as valuable because of the eyes that are on the league and that. You've got a lot of teams in this league that have invested and are more valuable a product for somebody to put their money on than, say, others. So if you're playing in front of 15,000, you are a more valuable commodity to whatever company wants to put a patch on them than if you're playing in front of 66, friends and family in front of CVS.
Oh, shout out to the Fighting CVSs.
But you know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Disparity in value.
That does make a lot of sense. All right. Give me your thoughts on what you witnessed and saw and heard at Southland Conference Media Days there in Houston last week in the lovely Galleria.
A lot of change. I mean, 60% or so. I don't have the actual number, but about 60% of the players are new. Same with some coaching staff. Now, most of the head coaches are the same. I think all the head coaches are the same, but the staffs are different. Staffs always change. I think stability is a big thing, but I think what we're really seeing is, and I hate to say this, I hate to go back to the old, because I asked the commissioner this the whole time too, is when they had the big 5 are going to leave, it's because 5 were investing and others weren't. We're starting to see that again, a rift between those willing to invest in the league and those who are not. And how do the ones that are not, they're riding on the coattails, do they deserve the same amount of money? I mean, you can revenue share all you want, but if you're putting twice as much in, why do you stay with somebody that's not willing to do that?
And when you say that, who are we speaking about?
Well, I think we're talking about, Houston Christian for one, Incarnate Word, Northwestern State. Some of the other ones that don't have the funds to go in, and why are you staying with them if your product is taking off on the other levels? And this was the split originally, was the 5 that left on the first time. It was because they felt they were being held back by the ones that weren't investing. So that's your rift. I mean, if you had the SEC and LSU was playing in front of 110,000, and Vanderbilt had a 25,000 seat stadium, why are you on equal footing financially? And why are they getting the same amount of money for every bowl game when you're investing 15 times more money?
It's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question. It's something definitely that they're going to have to address, and the Commissioner Grant's going to have to tackle, because you don't want there to be the mess that it was before.
Yeah.
And you need to be kind of ahead of this. And credit for you for bringing it up there at Media Days and letting him know that.
Oh yeah,
hey,
I was a big hit for that.
I'm sure you were. I'm sure it was something that people were very, very happy about discussing.
Very happy to address.
Let's talk about what Matt Viator had to say and the McNeese contingents. It was last year was his first year back.
This morning, Raymond.
I'm sorry.
This was opening day today. It was opening first practice. We did not see you there this morning.
No, you're correct. You didn't, because I host a radio show here in Lafayette. But thank you.
That.
Thank you for pointing that out. Well, let's go there. It was a rough season to start, but now Matt Viator has had an entire off season to establish what he wants to establish, to change the culture, to bring in his guys. Know the rosters had turnover. What are you going to be paying attention to all those practices that you're going to be witnessing firsthand?
More than anything else, obviously, it's how the 65 newcomers get together. They have 116 kids.
65.
They got 19 offensive linemen, 19 defensive linemen. That's a full roster. We haven't seen that in a long time.
65.
So depth is better. Speed is better. They're really built differently. Viator said it today. He said, we look like a football team I expect us to look like this year, which means they look better getting off the bus because they have a new weight room. All these things have really taken place. The culture is different but everybody's culture is good the first day of practice. So I don't really want to read too much into that. But a lot of the people, Jake Strong for one, the quarterback, has said there's a comfort level in a second year around. This is kind of like Vatican II. This is Viator II, I call it. The second year of the second Matt Viator tenure. So I think there's a comfort level between coaches that are almost all the same. They're going to be the only team that I know in the Southland, or really in most of football, that's going to have their first and second string quarterbacks back and their offensive coordinator back with the head coach back. So there is some stability in the program, which we hadn't seen in a while. There was always people coming and going, but I want to see how they also mesh together with the newcomers, because these newcomers are coming with the idea of, A, I want to make my money and get out, or B, I just want to come here to put myself on tape. Everybody has different agendas now as they come into schools. How does that kind of play out is going to be the big thing.
What are the position groups or positions that we don't have to worry about that's not really going to be a competition, so to speak, that are kind of solidified heading into fall camp?
Well, I think playing time competition is all there, but I think the secondary is really set. I think the defense, for the most part, is pretty set. They do lose the two defensive ends, Macy Lewis and Philip Bradford, who really dominated their defensive line last year. But they did go out and get two guys from the Southland Conference, one from Houston Christian, one from Lamar, that will probably play similar types and be the pass rush guys. So they went out this year, unlike years in the past, and they went out and they wanted to get production. High school kids, they wanted to get potential, but they really went to get production. Kids that played big, meaningful games, lots of minutes to be the quick fill-in. So that's a little different. They went with a twofold, and they really went with a lot of kids that are from New Orleans to Houston to kind of solidify that culture of how they want to play.
We'll get you out of here with this, bud. Tell us about your old friend Heath Schroyer. How's that going with him at LSU?
I think it's a work in progress. And yes, I'll be the first one to say his name has popped up when I've heard talks about the ULL job or the UL job, since I'm on your radio here. Over here we call it ULL still. So that's the one, I think it would be a fit. I think it would have been a fit a year ago. Whether it's a fit now that he's at LSU, I don't know. I don't know how much the rumblings have actual teeth to them. But he's always been a mix-it guy, and he loves challenges.
Well, I mean, we know it was a challenge to have to deal with you for all those years, and he definitely fixed you from freelancer to the king of all sports media there in the Chuck. So he does wonders in so many different ways.
Yeah, I think if he wasn't already at LSU, I think it would be a no-brainer, but I don't know what the feeling is over at UL by comparison. I've heard a couple of boosters have actually reached out to me and said, do you think? What would be the interest? And I go, I don't know. But I have a phone number if you need it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Did I tiptoe around that one for you enough?
I'm getting a nod. Am I getting a nod from – yes, Dawson approves. Dawson approves, so that's all that really matters. You know what's awesome?
Ask what Chaston thinks.
You know what is awesome, Jim? When you put two runners on the base pass with no outs and your superstar who comes back from injury hits a shallow ball into right field for an out that doesn't advance the runners, and then your all-star number 2 hitter hits into an ending inning double play. Just to give you an update. 0-0, by the way, in Queens there between the Braves and the Mets. Just wanted to let you know.
You're playing 2 today, aren't you? Isn't it?
That's
2?
right, buddy. Got a twin bill. So
That's okay. The Bronx Bombers are bombing our heads this week.
It happens, man. It happens.
It does.
Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
I'm a column away from the pool.
A column away from the pool. I love it. See you, bud.
See ya.
Oh, we got to take a timeout. We'll wrap up today's show next.
This is RP3 and Mesh live on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Where do you go when you're looking for action? Where do you go when you're looking for fun? New friends you're gonna meet, more fun than Bourbon Street. The Big Easy, where winning is easy. Life's too short, so jump on in, have all the fun you can. The Big Easy, where winning is easy.
Hand of the Day is the new way to win at the Big Easy Casino. Each Hand of the Day equals 1 entry into the Big Easy Bonus Cash Drawings. Bonus Cash Drawings take place on the last day of each month. It's never been so easy to win. Just watch as you play and notify your hostess when you get the Hand of the Day. The Big Easy, where the winning is easy. Gambling problem? Call toll-free 1-877-770-STOP.
Life's too short, so jump on in, have all the fun you can. The Big Easy, where winning is easy. Big Easy Casino across from Montreal.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net.
ESPN 1037 KLWB FM and 1041 KLCJ FM are properties of Delta Media Corporation, Southwest Louisiana's only locally owned and operated premier multimedia company with radio, television, and digital properties. ESPN 1037 and 1041 often conducts promotional contests on the air and on our digital platforms to include ESPN SouthwestLouisiana.com and the ESPN Text Club. In order to participate in any contest promotion, you must be at least 18 years of age and reside within the broadcast coverage area of ESPN. Only one winner per household per 30 days. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Winners agree to pay any taxes or fees related to a prize as noted in contest rules. Winners also agree that ESPN Southwest Louisiana has permission to use their name, likeness, portrait, recorded voice, or other biographical material to promote the station and participating sponsors. Employees, family members, and sponsors of ESPN Southwest Louisiana and Delta Media are not eligible to participate in any promotional contest. A complete list of rules can be found online at ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com or available to view at the main offices of Delta Media Corporation during operating business hours, located at 3501 Northwest Evangeline Thruway, Carencro. You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Oh, let's take a moment to thank our guest, Ryan Hinton from the Saints Block Party podcast, talking Saints training camp. Jamarcus Fitzpatrick from KATC, talking Dr. Brian Maggard, all things Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and Jim Gazzolo from the Lake Charles American Press, talking all things McNeese and Southland Conference. Instead of an update on the poll question of the day, we're going to give you a report from Saints training camp. You had a nice moment. You did have a nice moment earlier when Jeff Duncan tried to ask Alvin Kamara a question, and he said, I'm not answering your question. Yeah, go. And it's begun. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And then the news has come out in literally the last 10 minutes. That's not so fun. Could you mind sharing it with all of us, Dawson?
I'd rather not. I'd like to just pretend like it didn't happen.
It's true. I understand that.
Yeah, Brian Brzee likely towards ACL. First day of practice.
First day of practice. Huge contract year for Brian Brzee. Hasn't really developed into the player that I think they thought he was going to be. He showed flashes.
Really good year last year, though.
But he did have a good year last year. I thought they felt like he was going to be a big rotational piece. But he gets injured during the first day of camp, and speculation is that it is a torn ACL. So that means his season is going to be done before it even begins.
And we've already got, Ian Rappaport in on this. This is not just camp doc. I love the Twitter doctors that are like, well, I've been a medical personnel.
So,
no, this is legit.
I guess, but not to be the positive guy
Oh,
here.
let's hear it.
One door, one window closes, another door opens, however you want to phrase it. You drafted the young man out of Georgia.
Yeah.
You already have the former LSU Tiger lined up along the defensive line. Is this an opportunity for the rookie who's buying groceries for ladies to step up and now have more of a prominent role in this defense? You obviously didn't want to rush him into this position, but you do have a young, dominant guy that is a hoss that can play D-line for you.
Yeah, my problem is you just became, in a hurry, really thin at a position experience-wise.
That's true. That's true.
On day one of camp,
So I would expect them, even though you have Granderson and Jordan, and you have the young man out of Georgia, and you have Thibodeau, you have some guys. You have Chase Young, who's more just a pass rusher. I would fully expect the Saints to probably go pick up some mid-tier guy or lower-tier backup piece for the defensive line.
Yeah, Vernon Broughton, maybe he'll be back, but he also coming off major injury.
He's coming off major injury, too. So that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow, 11 to 1, but up next is The Lowdown with D-Lo.
The best businesses aren't just businesses, they're neighbors. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino. They have the newest games around. Hot seat drawings and monthly specials like no one else. Located on the Bro Bridge Highway and on the banks of the Vermilion River. Come out today and try your luck at the Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local, certified South Louisiana.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Whether it's a tempting text message or a quick glance at your GPS, taking your eyes off the road for just a moment can have serious consequences. This includes turning around or reaching down. Distractive driving includes eating or putting on makeup. Distractive driving is anything that diverts your attention from driving. I'm Lorraine Luquette Vinoy with Service Chevrolet Cadillac, encouraging you to drive smart, drive safe, and keep those eyes on the road, Acadiana. This message is powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac and this radio station, where safety meets style on the road.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning?